Okay there, singing world. This video will offer Italian pronunciation help for the aria Bella siccome from Don Pasquale by Donizetti. We will explore the tips and tricks to help you sing your aria without accent and also discuss the proper open and closed vowels and other non-phonetic things such as phrasal doubling and assimilation. Before we do that, please direct your attention to the description of this video below. You will see the whole text written out with all the non-phonetic things, the open vowels, the phrasal doubling, and also the assimilation. There are various links to my website, my Facebook fan page, and the most important link is to Pronunciation Dictionary on the rride site. You may follow the link below, or you may type in search engine RAIDOP or rride dizionario, it'll take you to the site. What you can do at this site is type in any word, and there's a playback button, and it will have the word with the native Italian speaker saying the word. It shows you all of the open and closed vowels. What I love about it the most is it acknowledges the existence of non-phonetic Italian, such as phrasal doubling and assimilation. So there will be whole lines of text written out, and you can see all of this in action with a native Italian speaker. I love it. I highly suggest that you check this out and use the site. So what we will do is we will go through this aria word by word first. We will go through all of the tips to get rid of the accent, and then we will also examine all of the common mistakes I hear people make either in auditions or in a performance. Okay, so let's go from the first line and we'll go word by word. First word is Bɛlla. So first thing is we have a double L. So how we do a double L is that we hold the L in position while our vocal cords are engaged. So while we phonate, right? So that makes a double L. Bɛlla is a single L. Bɛlla, where we actually have to wait on the L, is a double L. Bɛlla. You cannot exaggerate this when you're singing. It has to almost feel exaggerated for it to come out. Okay, the other thing about this word is that there is an open E. So E's can be pronounced two ways in Italian, either A or A, depending on the word. This word is an open E. So again, closed E is A as in hey, and open E is A as in head. And both of those are pure vowels. They're without the glide in English. What I mean by that is in English, if we say hey, we slowly close our mouth. That makes the vowel not pure. Or ahead, and we close our mouth, right? So in Italian, it's a pure vowel. That means that the beginning and the end of the vowel is exactly the same. No change, right? No motion of the jaw. No motion of the jaw. So this word is open E, and you'll see the IPA symbol for open E is the rounded edges E. Bɛlla. Let's go on. Siccome. This was originally two words, and this is actually a written out phrase. What's called a phrasal doubling is a written out one. It was originally si, the word yes, and come, the word how. Right, so it became one word because people would double the C, siccome, and it's one word spelled out. A lot of words are like that, like dacche. So you'll see that where the phrasal doubling makes one word. Addio is another one, right? So this O in this word is a closed O, and you have a closed E. So closed O or O is the other non-phonetic vowel. It can either be pronounced O as in oats or A as in AW. And again, both of those vowels are pure in Italian. There is no motion of the jaw. Aw, right? Saw. If we say saw, right, our jaw moves. Aw, right? Very, very pure. Or oats, we move. O, closed O. So this one is closed O, closed E. So it's O and A. Siccome. Going on. U is a phonetic vowel. It always makes the U sound, as is A always makes A sound. And I, printed I, is E and is always E. So those are the three phonetic vowels. E's and O's are the non-phonetic vowels, meaning that you have one letter to make two sounds. Okay, so angelo, angelo. So the accent is on the first syllable in this word. It's non-typical stress. And both of the other vowels are closed, the E and the O. Angelo, angelo. Now we have a single L in this word. And we also have a double N. And I will explain the reasons why in a minute, right? So first of all, how do we do a double L again, right? We have to hold the L in position, right? So Bɛlla, like Bɛlla. So in this word, we don't want to do angelo. So that's a double L by holding in phonation. So this one, we don't allow the L to remain in phonation. So it makes a single L. Angelo. So you hear all the time, angelo, double L, right? Now, why does this N also doubles? Because it touches a consonant, right? So, you see, so the N is held. Angelo. So that's another non-phonetic thing, is that the N is written as single N, but it's going to double going into the G technically, right? Angelo. Okay, going on. In tɛrra. So this is done because we have two consonants together. This ends up sounding like one word, right? So I did them both together. So notice that the N phonates going into the T. In tɛrra. Now we have a rolled R. Rrr, like that, right? So the R rolls. When it rolls, it has the pitch that you're singing in it. So let's go over the rule for rolled R versus flipped R. There are some R's in Italian that are flipped and others that are rolled. Any R that touches a consonant is rolled. Any R that's surrounded by vowels is flipped. Okay, so when we come across a flipped one, we will do that. But for now, tɛrra is rolled. And also pellegrino. So if you notice, the R is touching a G, so it rolls. Grino, right? So these E's are closed. A, E, O are our vowels, all closed vowels. E, io, pellegrino, pellegrino. Okay, so rolled R, double L, closed E's. Fresca. Here's another closed E on a stressed vowel. Fresca. So the ska is considered a double consonant in Italian, so it's strong. Fresca. So I'm exaggerating the word. You wouldn't say it like that. When you speak, you can say fresca, and you can kind of hiss that S. When you sing, you have to separate. Fresca. Now you're not going to separate like that when you sing in legato, but that's how you think of it in your mind. The first note is all A. The second note has the S on it. So my point is when we speak, we say fresca. So if that were two notes, that first note would have S on it. Fresca. When you sing, you can't do that. It has to be fresca. So when you do it fast, fresca. The S is completely on the second note. So that's the difference between lyric Italian diction and spoken Italian. We've already had siccome. We've had giglio. So now you have the GLI combination, right? So this is two parts. So let's do the second part. There's a Y. Yo. Yo. Right? So it's Y-I. Yo. Now, the Y does not come from the American Y position. Say, if you think like yoke, right? Yawn. If it were Italian and you were saying yoke, you would start from E. Yoke, right? So now you wouldn't say E because it's a semivowel, but if you practice yoke, so now yo, right? Yo, that's just the last part of the word giglio. So now the ya is preceded by a double L, right? Lio. So giglio. So what happens? Giglio. It goes around in your mouth like that. Okay, so that's the whole word. Okay. So now this is a closed E. The H makes it not che. It would be che if it were just CE, but CHE is K. The H hardens to a K sound. Now, this is what is known as a strong monosyllable. Now, we talked about the word siccome being spelled that way as a result of a phrasal doubling. Well, what makes the phrasal doubling is a single syllable word that is strong. So that's considered strong. So now you have to memorize strong monosyllables versus weak monosyllables. But let's just deal with the word K right now. So the word K is strong. So that means that the next word, if it starts with a consonant, will start with a double consonant. And that's called a phrasal doubling. It's another non-phonetic thing that happens in Italian. So an Italian would say che ss'apre. See? Che ss'apre. Not che ss'apre. Che ss'apre. So there's a double S there. Okay? Notice that apre has a very long A. Apre. Not apre. That would be a double P. Apre. So the long vowel before the P makes the single without a stop, right? That's my point. A stop would make a double P. So apre, no, apre. Notice that the R rolls and that the E is closed. S-U-L, sul. Mattino. So now we have a double T. Mattino. So how do we do a double T? Do we say two T's? Do we say mattino? Do we aspirate the T? No, right? So it's a single T caused by a stop in phonation that makes us believe that's a double T, right? So mattino. It's just a single T. So let's go through step by step, right? So we have a long A, we stop phonation. A, we go up to the T and then we don't say it. Attino. And then the space, the stoppage, that makes the double T. We don't chop the vowel before. Mattino. People who say, yeah, the vowel is short. Yes, it's shorter. It stops, actually, but it's still long, right? So that is half right when it's explained that way. So the A before the double T is still long. Mattino. Right? So when you go up to the T, you don't say it. Okay, so when we double the T, it's also very easy for us as Americans to double the N, right? So I hear a lot, mattino, or even worse, mattino, the absolute opposite of what's there, right? Single T, double N. So be very careful with this word. Practice my double T method, right? The long vowel, go up to the T and stop, and you'll be an expert. Same thing with double K in the next word, Ɔcchio. So we have an open O and a closed O at the end. Ɔcchio. So there's no harmonization. Double K, same thing. Long O, you stop phonation, you go up to the K, you don't say it, and then you say it. Now, let's talk about voiced and unvoiced consonants. All consonants are in pairs of voiced and unvoiced, right? So K is paired with a G. So ka, ga. Exactly the same, except for one has vocal cords in it, right? Ka, unvoiced, ga, vocal cords, right? So Italian, both the T and the K are as close to voiced as possible when you make them unvoiced, right? So it's not ka, like we say car, right, in English. It's more like ga, ka. Same thing with T. T is, right, like D is the voiced version of T, right? So ta, da, ta, da. Now I really unvoiced the T as in English, right? So now let's do T as in Italian. Da, go backwards from the voiced. Da, ta. You see, not ta, but da, ta. Now if you're going already da, as some Americans do, da, and making even the voiced one unvoiced, you have problems, right? So you're gonna have problems. So unvoice that one too. Da, ta, da, ta. So there's your T, right? So mattino, not mattino, mattino, from the voice position. Ɔcchio. Okay, so same thing with pparla. So so if you notice, you have a strong monosyllable K and pparla coming up. Okay, so P and B, the plosives, right? Ba, pa, ba, pa. So that's your consonants, right? Not ba, pa, or ba, pa, with lots of air. Ba, pa. Que parla. So the same thing happens for P. When you double it, it's the space. The A vowel goes right up to it, and then you stop right before you say the P. Que parla. And then it's up to you when the double happens, right? So the force or the expression of the double consonant does not come from the force of the consonant, it comes from the space, right? Que parla, right? If you want to be really explicit, que parla, see? So that's how you make expression, from the space, not the force. The next word is a, which is the word for and is closed, right? The word a is also spelled with a single e, and that the word for is, it has an accent, right? A, closed. A, is. He is, she is. It's the third person singular. Rride. So now normally an R surrounded by vowels would flip like this. Rride, right? But because the A is a strong monosyllable, it makes a double R. So rride. So we're still waiting for a single R. We haven't had one single R. And the next word, Sguardo, has a rolled R, right? Sguardo. So you can do what's called a purity test. You just do all of the vowels, right? U, A, O. And you don't let anything harmonize anything. Sguardo. So now you're not going to let that R harmonize the A vowel as we do in English, right? Think about it. We say car. And what happens? The R slowly invades the A vowel until it takes it over, right? In Italian, A, R, do. Doesn't happen that way. Also, you pronounce every vowel you see, even if it's a semi-vowel, right? Just the semi-vowel goes by so fast you don't hear it. Sguardo, U. So you start from the U position. Sguardo. Okay, going on. We've had K. The I is E. It's a weak monosyllable, right? So it does not cause a phrasal doubling. So as I said before, there are strong monosyllables. There are weak monosyllables. The weak monosyllables are actually fewer. They're written down in actually the list of all the strong and weak monosyllables are written down in Evelina Colorni's Singer's Italian book. It's a lyric manual of diction, and you probably had the book in your diction class. It's a green book, very thin. If you flip to the last 5 pages, there's a list of all the monosyllables and that cause phrasal doublings and the weak ones. The weak ones are fewer. You can count them probably on 2 hands. So one of these days I will do a video on all of the strong monosyllables and the weak monosyllable. I'll go through the list. But that's a future video. So E is a weak monosyllable. Cor is short for core. In here. Now, if it were a full version of the word, you'd have a flipped R. Core. Right? The modern version of the word is cuore with an U before the O. And it's an open O. So you'll see this word both ways in librettos. Cuore, core, and in this poetic version where it's cut off, cor. So when it's cut off, the R is rolled. Cor, if the next word starts with a consonant, the R will be rolled, or if the R is the last thing you say. Now, if the next word were to follow with a vowel, this would be a flipped R. Okay, so it's always the same. R surrounded by vowels is flipped. R touching a consonant is rolled. So now we have our first N assimilation, conquide. Okay, so I'll explain what an assimilation is. So if you're going to say quide, it's a K sound made with the middle of the tongue. And if you just feel where that's made, quide, right? And remember, now in Italian it's very close to guide, the G one, right? Quide, it's just at the point of where it becomes unvoiced, right? What does the N do? Well, the N is formed with the middle of the tongue. Normally we form N with the tip, right? So if we were to do conquide, we have a shadow vowel, but if we do it conquide with the middle of the tongue, we have a nice smooth legato passage from the N to the K. So that's an assimilation. Okay, that is not a phonetic thing. Okay, going on. Chiɔma. Now we have an open vowel after semivowel. This happens a lot in Italian. When there's a semivowel, the I, usually there's an open. Now, not always, because these are Italians. There are exceptions, right? Okay, chiɔma, chiɔma, right? Open O, single M, right? So as Americans, we have an open O. We love to double the M after that, right? Chiɔma, right? No, chiɔma. And we know how to do single M is that we don't let the M do that, phonate, right? Right, so long as we don't do chiɔma, that's a double M. Chiɔma. You're just an instant on that, right? Lots of the word K in this, right? So you see K in action a lot. So now you want to have a double V, right? Che vince. So vince, number one, the N sings into the ch, right? The E is closed and the V is doubled, right? Now double V, double B, and double F do not act the same way as double T and double P. They do not stop phonation. So if you say che vince, it's too much. Che vince, it's the same kind of thing like an M and an N. It's just the V is held a little bit in phonation, right? Che vince, see? Beautiful, right? Not che vince. If it's aggressive and it kind of ugly, right? If you do too much. Right? So che vince, beautiful, right? Next, we have this a non-typical stress. We have the anti-penultimate stress, right? So usually in an Italian word, the stress is on the penultimate, the second to last syllable. Now, in this word, you have not the second to last, but the second to last, right? So labano, and we have a stressed E that's open, labano. Okay, so ebony, and it's open. Note the single N. Okay, so the next word, sorriso, right? So we have closed O, double R, right, and closed O. So let's talk about stress, accented syllables, and how they affect open and closed vowels. Do you have to memorize all the open and closed vowels in every word? Yes or no? Well, as far as the stress of this word, sorriso, where is it? It's on the E, right? Well, the good news is that all of the unaccented syllables, if an O or an E fall on one of those, that would be closed. 100% closed. Unaccented syllables, 100% closed. Right? So anything like an E or an O on an unaccented syllable is going to be closed. We only have to worry about the stress. Now the bad news is the stressed vowels, if it's an E or an O, you have to memorize it. And they could be either. It could be either open or closed. And there are no rules. So you must memorize it. So in this word, sorriso, we know the accent is on the E and the O's are unstressed, so they're closed O. Okay, so in the next word we have a stressed O, right? So we have to memorize that it is closed. Now, there's a formula in this word, so anything that does something, like in English, like say like the word oppressor, or professor, or doctor, which also takes the, right? So anything that has ore is closed. Like professore, incantatore, right? Dottore, it's a closed O. So that's one formula we can memorize. So this stressed O is going to take a closed. Now, check out the N's in this word. Incantator, incantator. See how bouncy, right? Incantator. So those N's sing into the next consonant. And now we have a singing L. Alma, Alma. Okay, see the L does the same, going into the M. Innocɛnte. Notice that both the single N and the double N in this word are basically the same because the second N touches a consonant, right? So let's talk about the stress Innocɛnte, we have to memorize that stressed vowel is open E, right? Now we know the O is going to be closed because it's not on the stress. Next word, ingɛnua. Again, the stressed E is open, right? Ingɛnua. We've already had K. Now the next sentence offers us a choice, because look at what we have. We're introducing a new word, se, that is also a strong monosyllable. So now we have two strong monosyllables in a row. Now if we were speaking, we probably could do both. Que se medesma in speech. In singing, that's a little much. So the rule in singing is to choose one or the other, right? So you can either double the S, see? So the K doubles the S of say, or the say can double the M, right? I put the more preferable one first. Que se medesma ignora, right? Que se medesma ignora is also okay, right? So you could do both. You will not find in a dictionary, a modern dictionary, medesma. It's poetic, right? The real word in modern Italian is medesima, right? And both of those, the E will be closed. All the E's will be closed, the stressed, the unstressed, right? Medesma. Ignora, the O is open. Ignora. The GN in Italian is like the GN in lasagne or lasagna, as we say in the United States, right? Nya, right? So it's an N with a Y, right? Actually, which is an I semivowel, right? Ignora. Okay, going on. Modestia. Now this is an interesting word because when we speak, we can say modestia. And you see what happens? The T kind of almost doubles or trips a little bit. When we sing, we have to be careful to leave that as long as possible. Modestia. And that it's our true semivowel. Modestia. Right? When you sing. Try it, right? You'll see what I mean immediately. So if you sing Modestia, you're stuck. You're stuck with nothing to phonate on. The other one is better and way more elegant. Here's another bouncy word, right? So impareggiabile, right? Impareggiabile, giabile, right? So here's the accent, giabile. It's on the ah, right? So the e is all the e's in this word will be a, right? Closed E. What happens to the M? Impareggiabile, right? So we have a kind of two doubles. We have an M that's doubled. The R is flipped. The G doubles. It's like a DG, right? Eggia, right? That's the double G. And then we have a single B. And we have a single L. So what are the mistakes? Roll the R, right? Impareggiabile. Double the B. That's the other mistake, right? Impareggiabile. Double the L. See? All those, you can make 5 mistakes in this word. Maybe 6, right? If you're creative enough. Impareggiabile. So once you get past the double G, you have to make sure that ah is generous, right? Impareggiabile. And there we are. So here we have the word bontà. There were a lot of words that when they were more Latinate, they had DE at the end. You'll notice like the word città, and they all have an accent, and then the last syllable, the ultimate syllable, right? So ultimate syllable accent is not as common as the penultimate, right? So bontà, which is short for bontade. Città is short, city, for cittade, right? Pietà for pietade. So this accent in this word is there to show you a truncation of the word, right? Well, what happens is truncated words cause a phrasal doubling. So again, we have a choice because the next word is a phrasal doubling word, right? Is a strong monosyllable. K again, our friend K that's been around since the beginning of the poetry. So you can either say bontà che v'innamora, right? Or bontà che v'innamora. Doesn't matter, right? Pick one or the other. One or the other. The dangerous one is the double V, right? Because we tend to, as Americans, overdo it, right? So there we are. Notice that there's a double N in the last word of the line. Okay. I misery, right? So the accent is on the first misery, and so now the E is closed, right? And as Americans, we're gonna let that R influence us. I misa, right? We're gonna open because of the R. Right? Misery, E. You can do a purity test. Pietoso, closed O. Everything that's ozo, which is like, you know, anything that's ozo, like amoroso, amorously, right? Anything that has ozo, it's a closed O. That's another formula. Here's a good one that we tend to open. We always say gentile, right? No, it's gentile, right? So the accent's on the E, so the A vowel is closed, right? Dolce, closed. Amoroso, there is another oso word. Ciel, open. Il ciel, the sky, right? Cielo, the sky. Cello, double L, the string instrument. Okay, so H-A, H is silent, except to make, you know, it's usually silent in Italian, right? So la, right, so it's just A. A is also a strong monosyllable. Affatta, so double T. Nascere. Here's another formula for you. The conjugation, the infinitive, so to be born is nascere, right? To be born, nascere, or is born, to, right? To become born, more like, right? So all these ere conjugation of the verb, closed E. So ere, right? The other thing is that SCE is she, right? So that the C makes it makes it soft, right? Nascere, so she. So this is a very dangerous thing, again, because when you speak, you can say nascere, and there's a little whooshing on the first syllable. When you sing, you have to be nascere, nascere. Same with lasciare, right? So when you have three notes, you can't do lasciare. You have to say lasciare, nascere. Okay, so separate and then sing legato. Per does not rhyme with the fruit pear. It's a. Per. Per. Fare is the infinitive. Far is the truncated version. So because we're going to have a B, we're going to roll the R. Fare. See, there's a flipped R. Far. Beato. Beato. This one, because of the semivowel, we would love to double that T, right? If we're not thinking, right? Beato. No. Beato. You just touch the T, right? Un cor. We've already had core. Okay. So, we've now done the word by word, so let's do full lines. Bella siccome un angelo, in terra pellegrino, fresca siccome un giglio, che s'apre sul mattino. Occhio che parla e ride, sguardo che il cor conquide, Chiɔma che vince il Libano, sorriso incantator, Alma innocente ingenua, che mmedesma ignora, Modestia impareggiabile, bontà che vv'innamora. Ai miseri pietoso, gentil, dolce, amoroso, il ciel l'ha fatta nascere, per far beato un cor. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, please share. Don't forget to comment. More requests. And as always, don't forget to see your coach, and we will see you on stage at the opera.